Good morning, everyone. I'd like to let you know that today's Toolbox talk will be recorded. My name is James. I'm one of the directors at Martin&Gerard. Today, we're going to discuss the risk and safety measures for working in confined spaces. These environments pose unique dangers that we need to be aware of. We'll base the discussion on the Health and Safety Executive HSE guidance, which provides a framework for safely managing your work in confined spaces. By the end of today's Toolbox talk, you will know and understand the hazards associated with working in confined spaces, know how to plan for working in confined spaces, understand your risk in situ risk assessments and your role, and know what to do if you have any concerns. What is a confined space? Confined space is an area that is enclosed and not designed for continuous occupation, has limited access or egress, poses specific risks including hazardous atmospheres or difficult working conditions. Can someone give me a couple of examples of what you would consider as a confined space?
Understairs.
Working in a loft.
Yes. Anyone else?
Working under floorboards.
Yep, spot on. Thank you, Darren. Here's a couple of examples. So we've got meter stores and cupboards, cable tunnels, trenches, lift shafts, manholes or draw pits, loft spaces, crawl spaces, or underfloor voids. I've no doubt that all of you experience working in confined spaces when running cables, working in control panels, working in service voids and risers. These spaces are hazardous, but it's essential to follow proper safety procedures. Key risks in confined spaces. Electrical hazards. Confined spaces may contain live electrical equipment, or you may be working near live circuits. Accidental contact may lead to electric shock, serious injury, or death. Physical injuries. These spaces also pose risks for slips, trips, and falls due to poor lighting, uneven floors, or obstacles. Dust. Certain confined spaces may present high concentrations of dust. Always wear your appropriate PPE, i.e. masks and goggles. Oxygen deficiency. Some confined spaces have low levels of oxygen, which may cause dizziness, fainting, or worse. This can happen due to the presence of gases or because oxygen is displaced by other substances. Toxic atmospheres. Dangerous gases like carbon monoxide, methane may accumulate in these spaces. As electricians, you are using equipment such as gas-powered soldering irons. This is an additional risk. Fire or explosions. Flammable vapors or even electrical sparks from your tools can cause fires or explosions, especially in poor ventilated areas. Control measures and safe systems of work. Risk assessments. M&G provide RAMs for all sites. Please read them. Before any work begins, a thorough risk assessment must be conducted. This may include an in-situ risk assessment by you. Identify the hazards and make sure everyone understands the specific risks involved. If you are unsure, speak with the office. Avoid entry into confined space. Where possible, work from outside. If entry to the confined space is unavoidable, follow a safe system of work.
No, probably I'll reckon so. What day are we on tomorrow? Wednesday tomorrow. What?
You might need to put yourself on mute. Work planning. Make sure you have all the tools and
Okay.
equipment required to carry out the tasks so you get the work done the first time. Check the size of the entrance. Is it big enough to allow all workers wearing the necessary equipment to climb in and out safely and provide access and exit in an emergency? Ventilation. Ensure adequate ventilation is provided to prevent the buildup of harmful gases and maintain a safe level of oxygen. In some cases, a fan or mechanical ventilation may be necessary. Isolation of electrical systems. Before you start work, ensure all electrical systems in the area are properly isolated. Lockout procedures should be in place to prevent accidental energization. PPE. Ensure you have the correct PPE for the job, which may include face masks and safety harnesses. Communication and rescue plans. Ensure and establish clear communication with your team, both inside and outside of the working space. The rescue plan must be in place before your work begins in case someone becomes trapped or injured. Rescue personnel should be trained and equipped to handle emergencies in confined spaces. Report any accidents immediately to the site supervisor. Stay alert, be cautious, and never take shortcuts when working in confined spaces. Your safety is paramount. Any questions? No? Okay. So hopefully you've learned something today about confined spaces. I'm sure you already knew what you needed to know, but can you please all register for the toolbox talk? If you have a phone with you at the moment, you can take a picture of this QR code and complete the feedback form, please. Right, thank you. That's the end of today's session.
Cheers, James. Cheers, James.
No worries.